بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. السلام عليكم ورحمة الله وبركاته. أشهد أن لا إله إلا الله. أشهد أن محمد رسول الله. Thank you for inviting me to this beloved city of Jakarta. I'm very honored to be once again over here, and honored as well for being invited to this University of Muhammadiyah. My introduction to this subject is based on one word, just one word: Riba. This word Riba comes from Quran. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says in the Quran, حَلَلَحُ الْبَيْعَ وَحَرَامُ الرِّبَا. Riba is haram. Riba is the subject that has become taboo. It's almost forbidden to speak about this matter. And is the most important word that we need to bring to our economic and political discourse. Without understanding riba, we cannot understand the world. Words are like windows. With that window, we can see what is right, what is wrong, what is a problem, what is the solution. If we do not understand the world, that window is closed. We cannot understand. We cannot see the problem. It hasn't disappeared. It's simply we cannot understand it. So the first question that comes forward, and I hope it will be answered to you over the next few days, the key question is, what is a riba? Apa itu riba? Apa itu riba? My experience is that 99% of the ulama do not know. Let me say it again. 99% of the ulama do not know what is riba. I live in Pakistan. I am teaching what is riba. In Malaysia, the ulama do not know what is riba. So perhaps the first indication, or the first insight rather, on this matter is, do you know what is riba? Individually. Do you know what is riba? If I ask any one of you, I don't want to embarrass you, but do you know what is riba? The majority of you will say interest, right? Well, that is not riba. That is only one little part of riba, a small portion. Riba is a much wider definition. That includes not only interest, but something slippery in his understanding, sometimes difficult to understand. It's actually very easy to understand, which is nasia, delay. There are riba al-fadl and riba al-nasia. For those of you who know, two types of riba. Two different types. One relates to interest. The other one relates to something else. To the presence or non-presence of the things that you are buying or selling or exchanging. This relates to a concept in Arabic called ayn, two concepts, ayn and dain. Ayn and dain. Ayn means something which is tangible, present, like an apple or a banana or a piece of gold which is present. Dain is a promise to pay later, is a delay, is a nasia, is an IOU, is a debt, is a liability. It is forbidden in Islam to pay zakat with dain. Zakat must be paid in ayn. So this is very important because it relates to an issue that we cannot ignore. This is a US dollar. I was looking for an Indonesian rupee, but I don't have any. Can I borrow some from any one of you? Rupiah. Apa itu? Apa ini? Apa ini? Apa ini? Apa nama? Apa nama ini? Nah. Dirham. This is dirham. This? No. Rupee. This is a rupee. This is a rupee. 50,000 rupees. 50,000 rupees. You didn't know. This is a silver. Silver. How do you say silver? Pera. Pera. This is ayn. 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 Dain. I promise. I promise to pay. I promise to pay 50,000 50,000 rupiah. 50,000 rupiah. But there is a problem. The value of this is approximately around 10 US dollars. How much is that in rupees? $10. 130,000 rupiah. 130,000 rupiah. So one of these is more than twice the value of this. The value of one of these, more than double the value of 50,000 dime. Now, it says something of the nature, the Bank of Indonesia promised to pay, right? Promised to pay 50,000 rupees. So what will happen if I go to Bank Indonesia, which I am sure is here in Jakarta, I go and I say, thank you for keeping my rupees, thank you. Now, please give it back to me. Give me 50,000. This is the receipt. Keep the receipt, give me 50,000 rupees. Did you understand? What will happen? What will happen if you go to the Bank of Indonesia and you say, give me 50,000 rupees? They will look at you and they will say, this is it. This is 50,000 rupees. No perak. This is 50,000 rupees. I say, no. This is a rupee. I want you to give it back to me. If you insist, the person will not call the police. It will call a psychiatrist. They will think you are mad. But only because you are asking a question that you cannot ask. Apa itu central bank? Apa itu Bank Indonesia? If riba is haram, bank is haram. Bank Indonesia is haram. You see the problem? Then I put the haram in my pocket. This is the big problem. This exists because of this. America is a country that can produce this. Monopoly of this. They can give, you can come with this to Jakarta, I can buy anything. I can hire a car, kopi susu, nasi goreng, everything. But if you go to New York, if you go to America with this, you go, kopi susu. What is this? And they will laugh. They will say, it's beautiful, but where is it from? Indonesia? Is that in America? Europe? They will not accept it. They will not accept this. They will think it's a joke. But this is accepted worldwide. So America can print this endless, non-stop. They give us dime, pieces of paper, and we gave them oil, gas, jeans, gold, silver. We gave them everything. They gave us these. You don't need to be very intelligent to understand that if one country can print endless amount of these, they can buy anything that we have. There's no limit. They want more oil, they print more paper. They want more trousers from Indonesia, they print more paper. No limit. Since Barack Obama, you know Barack Obama, right? Since Barack Obama became president in the United States, all his cabinet are bankers. So the people in the United States say, this is the government of Wall Street. Not the government of the Americans. This is the government of Wall Street. And the Americans are very furious. Many people, a large number of people are furious with him. Since he came into power, approximately, and these are years from 2 years back, conservative number of new dollars brought out of existence from nothing, the number of dollars printed, created by Barack Obama and his administration is in the region of way in excess of 23 trillion US dollars. Trillion US dollars. This is the biggest theft we have witnessed, the largest theft of wealth in the history of mankind. For this money of the Americans, not only allow the industry and their banks to be bailed out. Wall Street was bailed out. Not only that, but who paid for this bill? Who bailed out America? China, India, Europe, and Indonesia too. You bail out the banks in America, and you don't know. Because your central bank does not belong to you. Because the central bank is part of a structure that does not care about people. This is an elite above nations, above democracy, above the interests and accountability and responsibility that people would demand from them. They are unelected, untouchable, unreachable. They are the financial elite. They fly above all of us. We can only point the finger, but it's nothing. We don't have the tools to bring them into court, to make them accountable, to make them responsible. This is why, in the West, the young people are protesting. A different movement than before. The Occupy movement. In Spain, in Greece, in Ireland, in England, in the United States, people came out of nowhere, protesting, but different than ever any other time before. They were saying, not the politicians are wrong. They said, the banks are wrong. The banks have to go. This is new. The banks are the problem. And behind this is Riba. And behind this is knowledge of Allah, the Sharia of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. There is no knowledge of these matters. The science of the dinar and the dirham and tijara in Islam, this science is called Muamalat. Muamalat. Not economy. Economy is a pseudoscience, an ideology from the West. Is based on riba is halal. This is the foundational argument. Banks are good. Riba is good. This is foundational. Therefore, it is impossible to speak about Islamic economics. Contradiction. It's like saying Islamic communism or Islamic atheism. It's impossible. It's a contradiction. They have transformed economics into a brand, a household brand. So we speak about the economy of Indonesia. The economy of Indonesia. So if once this aspect of life is defined as economy, logically, if you want to understand it, you go to the faculty of economics. They have defined the problems and they have the solutions. It's like when the pharmaceutical industry defines a drug and then it defines the illness that these drugs cures. There is no economy, there is muamalat. If you want to understand society, you have to understand muamalat. And you have words that you have to learn. Like economics has words that you have to understand. They have their words. We have our words. Two different systems, totally different. Number one, this one, economy, riba is halal. A'udhu billah. In Islam, riba is haram. Here, this is money. This is money. For us, this is money. Ain, not dime. For us, the marketplace, souk, the souk, must be waqf, public. Marketplace cannot be privatized. No malls, no Indomaret, not Carrefour. No malls, no supermarkets, but public marketplaces. This was created, brought into life by Rasul Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam in the city of Medina. He made a mosque, masjid, and souk. And Rasul Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam said, the masjid cannot be privatized. It cannot be the private mosque of Ahmed ibn Hamid. The masjid belongs to everybody. It belongs to Allah. It can be used by all the Muslims. The marketplace must be, Rasul Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam said, is a sadaqah to the people like the masjid. like the masjid. It cannot be privatized. Never in the history of mankind, never. The souk was privatized. Never, even before Islam. The Romans, public marketplaces. The Greeks, public marketplaces. In China, public marketplaces. In Europe, up until Second World War, Britain was full of public marketplaces in the Victorian days. Anywhere you go, into a Muslim city, Isfahan, Istanbul, Damascus, Aleppo, ask, where is the souk? They will take you to the souk. And you will see huge buildings that were waqf, public. If you go to Istanbul, ask for the Kapalı Çarşı, the Grand Bazaar, they call it today. It had 23 caravanserais. Caravanserai? Apa itu caravanserai? Caravanserai is the market of the caravans. Caravan, how do you say it in Indonesian? Caravan. In Bahasa, how do you say? Caravan, caravan. It's caravan, right? Kafila. In Arabic, it's kafila. Where are the caravans? They have disappeared. Instead of that, you have Indofood, the big corporation that controls 70% of all the food export. It's privatized. Our model is Muamalat. Our model is Medina al-Munawwara. This is the city of the deen. This is where everything was perfected. This is the height of human history. This is the model. If you want to understand the world today, you have to go back to Medina al-Munawwara. Over the next few days, you will be able to ask these questions to the participants. Ask them, what is riba? Ask them to give you a classical definition so that you know. Ask them, what is dinar and dirham? Ask them, what is a souk? What is a caravan? What are the guilds in Islam? You will see a picture of Muamalat, not economics. Economics is an ideology. The science of Islam, our model. We have a model. We have our way of thinking, our methodology. Before the Dutch came here, before the British came to the Malaysian Peninsula, before they took our lands, before we were a colony, we had a model. Islam is not Islamization. What is Islamization? Islamization is to say, we take capitalism as a model, and we have the Sharia, and they say, we are making capitalism compliant to the Sharia, Sharia compliant. So they take bank, Sharia bank, or Islamic bank. Insurance, Sharia insurance. Stock exchange, Islamic stock exchange. Credit card, Islamic credit card. Bonds, Islamic bonds. Dow Jones, Islamic Dow Jones. Futures, Islamic futures. Inflation, Islamic inflation. This is not making capitalism compliant to the Sharia. This is making the Sharia compliant to capitalism. Capitalism doesn't change. The Sharia is changing. They're changing the Sharia. They're changing our religion in order to accommodate to this. Islamic banking is haram, haram, haram. 3 times haram. It's worse than the other banks. What we need is to discover that we don't need to Islamize the banks, but we have our own institutions. Wadia. Wadia. Apa itu wadia? Wadia. Apa itu wadia? We didn't have banks in the days of Rasul Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam, but we have wadia. We didn't have US dollars in the days of Rasul Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam. We had dinar and dirham. We didn't have Carrefour in the days of Rasul Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam. We had the souk. A different model. Different model. We have to bring our own model. Because if we do not, if we continue, Islam will be assimilated, totally assimilated by capitalism. Islam will become irrelevant. Irrelevant. The world is going into one direction. Islam is pushed to the sides. We are becoming irrelevant if we do not bring the matter of riba today, because capitalism has evolved from being an ideology of few to become a doctrine, a legal doctrine of nations with the constitutions. With the constitutions. And now, with globalization, this ideology has become a religion. It's the religion of the world. Capitalism is the religion of Indonesia, not Islam. Capitalism. Today, Indonesia thinks we are good. The economy is growing. But you don't see. You are in a crisis like you were 5 years ago. You are moving from crisis to crisis. Crisis is inside capitalism. When you are not in crisis, it looks like we are okay. You're moving, Indonesia is just moving rapidly to the next crisis. Then you will say, wow, look, raise the taxes, increase the banks, print more money. How many times, how many zeros will you need to wake up? How many zeros do you need to understand? How many times they have robbed you since this thing was created? How many times more do you need to wake up? You must wake up. Because you will not only will become irrelevant in the world, but you may disappear altogether. Muhammadiyah was built on the principles of uplifting Islam. And we started with the glorious recitation of Quran. And this is what distinguishes us. But I fear if we don't bring this matter forward, we will become irrelevant. And soon you will have American universities gathering the people, teaching them what they want to teach. Their culture will take over. The McDonald's culture will take over you. And before you blink an eye, like it's almost completely happened in Malaysia, all you are left is with the formalities of Islam. Formalities only. For the economy and the politics is already totally in the hands of others. So, I want you to learn one thing. I want you to learn about riba. And I want you to focus on 2 things. Learn what is haram and learn what is halal. Because if you do not understand the alternative, you cannot solve the problem. حلله البيع وحرم الربا. This is the sentence that it will free us. This is the sentence that it will turn Islam, bring Islam back to Nusantara. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.